Here.
Mr. Jackson. Here. Mr. Kyle.
Here.
Have public comment?
I'd like to say something.
Well, go ahead.
Maybe when one of you supervisors, or two of you or whatever, would like to get on the Harringtons, way down here at the Orchard Drive. I'm sure all of you have found that sign that they have is an obstruction to your view. If they could just move it in 5 feet or so, in towards this area, you'd have a better view of the oncoming traffic. Don't you find it's an obstruction?
I agree with you.
Yeah.
Now that you bring it up.
Yeah, I find I can pull pretty close to the highway and be able to see.
Well, I would say, I hadn't taken notice of that, but I'm glad you brought that to our attention. Do we have, John, do we have the ability to ask them to move that sign? Is it in the ground? Is that planted or is that?
Yes.
It's in the ground.
Yeah.
Once it's been planted and put in the ground and been approved,
What type of sign is it?
Well, it's a business sign.
business sign. It's a pretty big size, I
Not
think.
this big, not that high, not 2 posts in the ground.
Is it in our right of way?
No.
Yes,
It's in
It's in-
Carroll Valley.
No, that's in state. That's not us, that's state.
It's
In
not
the
in
state
Carroll.
right of
It's
way?
in Carroll Valley. It's close,
Why, I'm not sure
5 feet off the
what
ground.
jurisdiction we would have over it then.
That's what my question is, because that's a state highway, they got the permit through the state, they didn't get it to us.
Yeah. Yeah, so if it's not our highway, we don't have any control over it.
What we can do is we can speak to the state, because
PennDOT is where you would have to go for, PennDOT has some pretty stringent regulations concerning signs.
correct. We actually met with the sign guy today, Barrett, did we not? So we have a contact number, so I'll contact him again this week and ask his opinion on that, because he was actually, we were standing right there on their property today.
you know, even if you ask them kindly, as the people of the township who travel that road, would they be ever so pleased to move their sign? I mean, it's worth a try.
Yeah, that was my thought exactly.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll try that first and then, but in the meantime, we could kind of cover ourselves by checking with PennDOT, see what the,
Yeah, we'll do that. Thank you, Eric. Anything else? Anyone else have public comment? Yeah, Judy.
I'd like to bring up Ranch Trail again. I haven't done it in over a year. And when you leave coming towards 16 on Ranch Trail, the right lane is completely obstructed by a bush in the gentleman's yard on the right. And people come around that corner and they come into that lane coming in the opposite direction. And I'm just really surprised there hasn't been an accident there yet, but I would again request that you look into that.
We did talk with Carroll Valley about that too. Carroll Valley won't do anything about it,
Isn't that our road?
part of it. I know Carroll Valley we approached Carroll Valley about it, they said they would not attempt to even question them. I know when Brian and I talked to him, he absolutely refused to let us take that out.
Whose right of way is in his yard, Carroll Valley's or Liberty
Yeah,
Valley's?
absolutely, Township. Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, absolutely. I think when last time we talked about this too, did we get, John, were you involved in that a few years ago, when we had a large bush right along the roadway that's actually obstructing part of the roadway? We approached the man to remove it, or to at least cut it back, and he said if we touched it, he'd sue us.
No, I was not involved with that, but there is a provision in the second-class township code dealing with bushes and trees and things of that nature that obstruct the vision. And I didn't bring my copy of the code along with me tonight, so I don't remember that off the top of my head, but if you have it there, I can look it up for you.
You know, I can get mine.
caught that, Don.
Thank you. I noticed, she brought this a couple times and we've addressed it, and the last time it was addressed, that was the response we got, so nothing else went. That's when we went and talked to Carroll Valley, see if Carroll Valley would go in with us to petition to take the push out. They said that our problem is over here.
Thank you. Well, why don't we move on in the agenda and we can come back to this one.
Any other comments, public comments? No? Okay, we'll come back to that one. Judy, all right, let's go to supervisor comments. Bob?
Me, no comments.
No, I'm good right now, no comment.
No? I have no comments either, so how's that? Okay, so we can.
Moving right along.
All right, then we'll go to our minutes. Has anyone had a chance to review the minutes for the February 4th, 2020 regular township meeting? If so, can I have a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Cool. Has anyone had an opportunity to review the February 18th, 2020 workshop meeting minutes?
I have, and I make a motion to approve.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, now we have the treasury report. Wendy, you're up.
Thank you. Account balances for the month ending February 2020. The general operating payroll, $61,687.76. The Pliget General Reserve Fund, $255,426.40. The Pliget Capital Reserve, $96,629.80. The liquid fuels, $7,543.34. Fire tax, $788.79. And escrow is $6,078.45.
Did you get getting a notification of when the liquid fuel should be coming in?
April,
In April?
yeah, much shorter than April.
Okay. Everyone's heard had a chance to review the treasury report. Do I have a motion to accept the treasury report as read?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, how about the expense report? Has anybody had a chance to go over the invoices for the 18th of February to the 3rd of March? Everybody have a chance to look at those?
Yep.
Anybody have any comments?
Not for me.
If not, do I have a motion to accept the expense report?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, the next one we have is our payroll. Everyone had an opportunity to review the payroll from 2/16 to 2/29.
I have, I'll make a motion to accept.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Go ahead. All right, let's go right on down through there. All right.
Let me just make a note, under zoning, that should say February, not January zoning report on the agenda. February.
Thank you. Go ahead, please report, please.
Yes, you may. Bob, could you want to pass this down, please? For the month of February, we worked 182 hours. 82 of those were patrol hours. I had 35 on-call hours. We did 12 traffic details, wrote 8 total traffic citations, had 4 traffic warnings, answered 15 total incidents, and PSP was out and handled 2 calls in the month of February. Some of the things that were going on with the police department in February, we talked last month about having the highway department take over the pickup truck that we use as our backup vehicle. So I did spend some time trying to find a decent used vehicle for the police department. and I'm still working on that. I did find one that I think would be good for us, and I have contacted the chief of that department yet again today, and he advised me that he was in class today and that he would work on that as soon as he got back tomorrow. So I'll give him this week yet, but I told him I need to know. I don't have to have the vehicle right away, but I need to know so that if we need to look elsewhere, that we can start looking elsewhere.
Is it still the lease?
Yes. I just didn't want to name the department just
That's all
yet.
right.
That was,
Yeah.
keep
You
that,
just gotta take it.
Yeah, okay. I might have a universal key. You never know.
well, that's not gonna be available in May or June.
Probably May, I think, was the date that he gave me. But even if we were to get a brand new vehicle, we wouldn't have it here by May. So,
Right.
and I'd rather go the used route, and like I said, I think this would meet our needs.
You know how many miles was on that vehicle?
When I went to look at it, what was that, 2 or 3 weeks ago, it was just under 60,000. So probably by the time we would get it, we'd have in the 60s. I don't know. I don't think that it would be much more than, I'm gonna take a wild guess and say top 65,000.
Yes.
And it did need new tires, but they were gonna have to put new tires on it, before then. So it would come with a set of brand new tires, basically. So I'll keep you posted on that and keep you updated on that, as I get word back from the chief. We did get new computers too. So those computers we got laptops, they're up and running. We're still working out a couple bugs, I think, here and there with, the people that came to install them, and 1 or 2 programs I have that aren't working right since they switched it all over.
Anything
Other
else?
than that, that's about it, I think.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
For at least the last 90 days that I can speak to,
Mm-hmm.
I've not seen a part-time Craig Hartley on the schedule at all, or on duty, and I
Correct.
was wondering why that is, and what property he may have with the township, and if we're carrying workman's comp, and
He is
those
our
sort of
firearms instructor,
Yeah,
and so as the guy that qualifies us and as our firearms instructor, he is on our payroll because we pay him to do that. So that's why he's also a certified police officer. And in a pinch, if we had to have somebody, I could probably call him up if I need a shift or 2 here or there, and see about getting him over here to fill in for a shift or 2.
is he full-time elsewhere, or
Yes, he
elsewhere?
is. Yes,
Okay.
he's full-time Victorville.
Availability would be then somewhat limited.
Very limited, yes.
Well, my point again is, the expense that the township's carrying for this guy, I question that.
Yeah, that's up to you.
Yeah.
That part of it is something I don't get involved in.
Yeah, but we'll look into that.
Okay, yeah,
See
yeah, and that's,
what's out
yeah,
there. If he's an instructor, then we could pay him to do so. If the workman's comp and the expense of uniforms or anything else that we have to supply outweighs that, then we'll have to consider that. I think it would be a good consideration.
mhm.
Okay, thanks.
Yep, no problem.
Rob, you have anything for Sharon? Thank you, Sharon.
Yep.
If you want to back up, I did find that provision.
Okay, we'll go back to that for right now.
In what section 2312, elimination of PERS acquisition of use. Any township may acquire by purchase or by the right of eminent domain any property and lands along or adjacent to any township road that may be necessary to eliminate dangerous curves and widen roads and provide a free and unobstructed view over lands located at or near the intersection of any 2 roads or highways. I'm assuming this bush is not in our right of way in any way.
It is.
It's right on the edge.
Yeah, it is going.
Is,
If you take it there from the center line to 17 feet, then yes, it would fall in our right
okay, all right, well, that's if it's outside the right of way. If it's in our right of way, then we're back to that section that we talked about the last meeting.
of way.
The Board of Supervisors may clear out brush and other refuse along the sides of the road to the legal width thereof. All clearing and removal of brush, shall be confined to growth that is within the right of way and to removal of branches that in any way interfere with public travel. So, it's, you know, and again, any trees over 6 inch that you're gonna cut down, that's where you gotta give them the 10-day notice that you're gonna do it, and then you have to leave any firewood there. If this is just a bush, that's not gonna happen, but
Should we give a notice to the particular resident and tell him that he'd like to meet with us before we take action? Because, like I said, he's already made that comment.
well, however you wanna handle it, I mean, that's section 2325 of the code, you know, you have the right, if it's in the right of way. Now, let me just be a little caution. Okay, well, you gotta measure it from the true center line of the right of way, and that's not always necessarily where
Correct.
the yellow lines are.
Right.
And how you determine that without a survey, if this guy's gonna be particular about it, you know, you just gotta make sure you know where. Because when they do those lines, when they repaint them, they kinda,
Oh, I know. I
you
understand.
know, they go a little bit left, a little bit right, and it's not always exactly.
Well, you take the overall width of the road itself, and you can find the center by taking the overall width, and then go from there to your 17 feet on each side.
Well, it's 17 and a half, it's 33
Yeah,
total.
It's 33 total, 17 and a half.
17 and a half.
Yeah, so you can very easily find that from the edge of the road, back overall width of the road, and then go through the line there.
Well, that's the first, if you were to meet with them, I would say, that's the first thing I would determine with them, is if you can come to some agreement about where the right-of-way line is.
Okay. Well,
You know, and then they'll measure 17 and a half feet from there.
So I just can't take chainsaw up there tomorrow morning, start.
No.
No, Rod, it takes the plow truck, because you got a blizzard coming.
Oh, that's,
Bob, he got his CDLs. That's the first time we put him in the truck and say, hey, he had a bad experience his first day out.
he biked up the tree. Sorry, but.
All right, we'll look into it some more, Gene. Okay. All right, as far as, next thing is our zoning thing. There's only a couple things on zoning. A demolition permit and a pole barn permit. That's it. Save time, I'm not gonna give it, it'll be expensive, how much it costs all that. Figure out my The road department, when we were out this past week, we did quite a few things over the past 2 weeks. We had the John Deere tractor service, and also the other tractor, the 60, was also serviced too. Bobby and I got out and did some co-patch, and we met with D.L. George on Old Waynesboro Pike to look at the bridge repair that needs to be done. It's been recommended by the state that we give some attention to that. So they're working on us a bid on that. We also met with David Martin Excavators so we can have a second bid. They've both been given the specs of what we need to do. In respect to that, we also made contact with LTAP to get a representative from the state to come out. We need to do a G11 permit because we have to go in the water. So this project's going to be put off until we do this permit process again. And that could take some time. So those guys are working on proposals for us. In the meantime, we'll work on the permit for that. We also had a meeting with LTAP, Pat Wright, this past week. He's in charge of ordinances that deal with signage and roads in local municipalities, and he directed us on drawing up an ordinance to restrict the travel of big trucks on our roadways. So we have an ordinance on the agenda tonight to go into vote. So hopefully we're going to address a lot of the roads that we're having issues with the tractor trailers and heavy equipment running across. That's another thing we did. We also, on Boyle Road tractor, you may see if you travel that area, we put stone at the intersection there to slow down the water that was running down there. So it seems to be working really well. We also met with one of our local residents here in the township today with an issue that we have with water runoff in the township. We instructed the person what needed to be done on their side as far as the pond and overflow. We're setting up another meeting with another resident on Burnt Road to discuss also water issues with him in the township. We drove 341 miles. We used 26 gallons of diesel. In off-road, we used 27 gallons and 2 gallons of gas. If you're also up on Stillman Marker, Stillman Marker, we cleared off some of the debris along Stillman Marker, met with the Hamilton Band to give us a proposal to come in and do the brushing over the guardrail to clean that up. The 10th through the 13th, Liberty Hall will be closed on the 10th, 11th, and 12th from 7 a.m. until 3 p.m. For trimming trees along the roadway. That's already been scheduled. And then on the 13th, Stoops Road will be closed from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. To clear dead trees along the roadway and also to open up the canopy over out there. Also met with the District 8 representative, the maintenance department of PennDOT, just today out at the intersection of Orchard Road and 16, to talk to them about putting signs up along 16, indicating that there's truck restrictions going to be put in place along our roadways to intersect state highways. We also talked to them about possibly putting a no left-hand turn on Stillman Marker, coming off of 16, trying to divert any accidents at that particular location also. Oh, you got anything else under the roads? I think I covered about everything.
Yeah, the one thing I got to add to that, the permit that we're talking about, he talked about with regard to the bridge repair up there is, most of that will probably be handwork. The machine will lift the riprap under the bridge. We got to build up along that wall underneath there because it's washing it away. But we have to get a permit just to walk in the creek to put the stone in place. So that's basically what that permit's for. We'll probably never get a permit for getting the machine down there. So, and the Hamilton Band thing, so you understand, they have the type of mower that has the long reach arm that can reach down behind the guardrail and clean that up. And we're going to talk to them further about some other areas in the township, if they could give us a price and give us an idea. They indicated that if you rent one of those machines, they only rent by the month, and it's a minimum of $3,000. So we're looking at using some of our neighbors, if that's the way we want to go cleaning up some of the roads and get some of this brush back. So anyhow, maybe I know where we can take that mower.
There you go. Anything else for Bob? You got any questions for the road department?
I
Okay.
got one.
Yes.
What's the status about that telephone pole where Stokes Road hits Wenshaw? I mean, it's busted. Are they gonna take it down? I mean, is it a danger? I just never looked too much, but it's busted pretty good.
The telephone company, they come out, put the new pole up and lean that pole against it. Not quite sure what they're doing with that.
Yeah, I've never seen them leave the busted pole as well.
Me neither, that's exactly what they did. They leaned it up against the other pole.
I guess they expect another tractor trailer to turn the corner
Might-
back.
They might have left
They got
that
two
there
poles
just for
there.
that particular reason.
Okay.
And that's what the ordinance is to address, that we are looking at proposing tonight. We'll address these tractor trailers that are using our GPS, coming onto our roadways, running over telephone poles, running over stop signs, running into people's yards, going across the bridges that have got weight limits on them. So hopefully we've listed all the roads that we need to right now. If we have to, we can go back and add more. So that's, no, thank you. I will do that. Thank you. Planning.
Yes, the planning commission did meet in February, and we went over the solar ordinance once again and made some editorial changes, some words that were incorrectly put in there. And then we changed it to be photovoltaic, solar photovoltaic, rather than solar energy. And the reason for this is the industry standard now, and that it specifically relates to solar power energy being converted into electrical energy, as opposed to, could also, solar power and solar energy could be converted into thermal or heat energy for heating water. So that was the reason for that.
Anything else?
Oh, just one more thing, we are talking about the burning ordinance. And we looked at a number of different ordinances, and we feel that adopting the Carroll Valley burn ordinance meets our requirements better than some others, although we're also taking some things from the Washington Township ordinance.
Okay, good. So you have that for us coming soon?
Yeah, Rob Thaler said that he would look it over for us, but he's really busy, and I don't know if we can do it within the next month. That'll be really up to him, or we can give you what we have.
Yes, that's good.
What's the difference between the Carroll Valley and Adams County burn ordinances?
Adams County is under revision, and they asked us to not use that. And it's a county ordinance and a borough ordinance are much greater than township ordinances usually. But Carroll Valley Borough ordinance seems to meet ours, where there's a lot of things in the county ordinance that doesn't seem applicable to our township.
Did Mr. Thaler have an opinion of the Carroll Valley ordinance then?
He hasn't gotten back to us on that.
In the Carroll Valley ordinance, that's more of a borough, and we're a municipality, and we have farms in there, so Carroll Valley don't have farms in Carroll Valley. So their burn ordinance will not be addressing your local farmers and what they're doing on their farms.
Right.
Does it have any provisions in there for the farmers?
No, it's not.
You know, I'm glad you brought that up, I had to, we're going to see.
Wait a minute, but first of all, I just said we haven't gone over it, we haven't looked at it. We are discussing it at our next meeting.
All right, and just to be mindful that that's the difference, the farmers are doing different things.
Yes.
Matter of fact, we just noticed a guy, someone today, not in our township, but was burning tires. And I was like,
Well, PennDOT, that's against state law to burn
yeah, we
tires.
already know that. It wasn't our township, so we just,
If I could add, when we looked at the Carroll Valley, I think we felt in general that we had more detail maybe than we wanted, but it was easier to look at something like that and pull things out that didn't apply to us, as opposed to start out with something that didn't have enough and try to figure out what to add. So that's kind of like why we picked Carroll Valley. But as was said, we're just starting to look at it, so.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm thankful you brought that up about farms. There's always brush we put on a brush pile, and every so often has to be burned.
Right.
Well, I don't know about, the Washington Township one has a specific exemption for trees, limbs that fall down in storms, brush that accumulate on your property. You can burn that. At least in the Washington Township one, there's an exemption for that. I don't know if you were going to include that.
Did you give us March to look at?
Yeah. Well, I would strongly advise you to include that, because you have many, you could have someone in their yard have if you have a sycamore tree or something, the branches are always falling down, and what are you gonna do with them? If you don't have a fireplace,
There are things like in Carroll, I really don't want to get into this, but anyway, like in Carroll Valley, you can only have a fire pit 3 feet wide. So,
Or it doesn't make much sense.
So, there are a lot of little things to look at. We basically want to address what the zoning officer has had complaints about, which is mostly burning of things that shouldn't be burned.
Yeah.
Like
construction stuff.
Yeah.
And
Sure.
putting in something about if the fire marshal says it's not appropriate to be having burning today, that.
Oh, no, that's a totally separate situation. If the fire marshal says no burning, due to the dry weather conditions, then there's no burning.
Okay, so we don't have to put that in. I mean,
You
we
should,
would put that in.
I think I sent you two ordinances, from Washington Township. The one deals with when the fire marshal says no burning. And then the other one deals with when if there's no open burning ban by the fire marshal, when you can have a burn.
We're trying to have one ordinance.
Well, you can combine it into one, you know, you can, if you want to combine it into
We
one.
have so much trouble finding ordinances unless we gotta get this.
Yeah. But in drought conditions, if he says no burning, then there should be no burning at all.
Is it? Anything else? Okay. So you're up.
The auditors were one short on our meeting last month. We went over the income from fines, court fees, and everything. I wanted to make sure that we went through the whole last year's figures to make sure that where we had a check for a fine, it actually went into our general account. And we spent the whole meeting doing that, Kate and I, and it turns out everything that came in actually was recorded into our account, so I'm pleased about that. We actually did something. I mean,
Thank you
it
for
was very
being pleased.
detailed.
Thank you.
Kind of like to get paid though.
No. Thought
No.
you volunteered for
I was shocked.
All right, anything else there?
No, we're gonna have another meeting next month. I'm not sure if Sue's gonna be over her medical stuff there with her husband, so.
Okay, well, old business, we have the treasury bond status. We have came to an agreement with Travelers, is that correct?
Yeah, I think we passed a motion last meeting.
We did pass the motion.
Did you get the check, Wendy?
No.
Well, we should be getting it, the final $6,007 check, and
Yes.
that's on top of the 60-some thousand we've already
It's
paid.
gonna be like $67,000 total. So we did make a motion that it did pass to close the Travelers complaint after we received this check. I did go and get the
Release signed.
release, notarized and signed, and Wendy has that in her possession. So when the check comes in, she'll send that off to them. The Cincinnati claim bond status is still open and ongoing, and I don't think we have anything else to report.
No, I haven't heard anything new on that one.
Okay. All right. Now we're gonna go to public comment again for new business. Does anyone have any public comment for new business?
I guess I'd like to know, since I won't be able to ask later, is this something the supervisors are working on, or is it gonna be passed on to the planning commission?
What are you talking about?
The floodplain ordinance and the restricted vehicle ordinance?
Oh, no, this is the supervisors working on this. Bobby's actually spearheading the floodplain. Wendy and I, and Bobby too, he did meet with our state representative on the ordinance for the roads, the restrictions of roads. Yeah, neither one of those are going to the planning.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, excuse me for interrupting, the vehicle one definitely will not be, because that's, but if you decide to put the floodplain one in the zoning chapter, then that would have to go to the planning for their comments, but, you know.
Well, he's working with county on the floodplain. I mean, I don't know,
Yeah.
you guys want to be tasked with that?
Not really, but,
Well, we already have 20 pages of floodplain regulations in the zoning ordinance,
Yes.
so, you know, whatever, either we take it out of the zoning and just enact it as a standalone ordinance, or we incorporate the new revisions into the zoning. It doesn't matter to me either way. Like my other townships that have zoning, they have their floodplain in the zoning ordinance. The other townships that don't have zoning, they just have it as a standalone ordinance. So,
your meeting with, Adams County, did they make a recommendation to that? This is the first time I've heard of it.
No, I haven't talked to Adams County. Wendy sent me an email today, Rob Taylor is going to talk Friday more specific about a more generic,
Or less generic.
thank you, less generic type of ordinance. What that, the last one we got from Harrisburg was 29 pages.
Yeah, he's trying to make it more applicable to Adams County municipalities.
Yeah. Yeah, so, we should have something a little more clear to look at after Friday, and, we'll talk with Mr. Lisco once he's reviewed it, and then we'll try to get some direction on that. But it's, for me, it's somewhat complicated, understanding all this stuff, it really is. But I'm muddling through it here and doing the best I can with it. It needs to get done.
Well, on the floodplain thing, does anyone else have any comments for new business?
Just a follow. I think if you develop one and just send it to planning for comment, that's different than tasking us to develop it.
Yes, yeah, and I think
So-
that's
so-
what it may be, yeah.
So
And-
I'm thinking maybe it's appropriate to just ask for comment as opposed to,
I'm for that,
Yeah, me too.
I'm for that.
I think in the end, it just goes down to what's the timeline and where are we when we get it done?
Right.
Because that's due in June.
It's due in June, we can't set it on this.
Yeah.
This has to
It's
be
due in July.
done. So, yeah, well, we have a copy here, in front of us. Is this up for a motion tonight?
No.
I didn't think so.
I don't think
What's
so.
that?
Did you have specific questions,
Well,
Mr. Cockles, that you wanted to ask them related to Leslie's message?
No, not really.
No, you didn't need any answers from the board on it?
No, not really. I'm just waiting to see what, I want to put it all together with
Right.
what Rod Taylor has compared to what they have. Let him review it, we can discuss it, and we'll throw it out to you guys for your comments. I think would probably be the route to go, like you suggested, Rich.
Well, I'm gonna say, I think maybe what we probably need to do is get this to them pretty soon, because
Yeah.
we're not having any more, mid-month meetings. We eliminated the supervisors' 11 o'clock workshop meeting, we only have our monthly meetings now. So we have a copy here, a draft anyhow, we'll get that to you guys. One of the things that are in here that was asked is that they need to have a primary and a secondary person named for a lifetime position.
No, that's not correct, it's not a lifetime. Yeah, no,
That's the way I read it.
No, it's misleading. It's definitely not a lifetime
Good,
position.
because I didn't want to do it.
No, it's not a life, what it says is,
That's like somebody's gonna die and they're on the flip.
Yeah. I'm moving out of township.
No, you're the guy we're putting on.
yeah, it's 303H.
303.
Yeah,
What page?
Page 3.
yeah, page 3 about middle.
The way it says, the floodplain administrator shall maintain in perpetuity or for the lifetime of the structure, all records associated with the requirements of this ordinance, including but not limited to finished construction, elevation, data permit. That's, you have to maintain in perpetuity all records related to the structure. That doesn't mean the floodplain administrator is gonna be in that office in perpetuity.
Well, I read that, that wasn't the paragraph that I was going.
What one were you referring to?
I marked another page, I don't have it here with me. At any rate, when talking to Leslie Rhodes, who gave us this from Harrisburg,
It's administrators.
she specifically told me that, it's a lifetime appointment, and that's where I got that.
No, I don't, I mean, I'm looking at 30, it's,
Maybe somehow or another she interpreted H
yeah, no.
as that.
No, I mean, my other townships, if you look at 301, it even says the Board of Supervisors is hereby appointed to administer and enforce this ordinance, and here is referred to here as a floodplain administrator. The floodplain administrator may fulfill the duties and delegate duties and responsibilities, enter in a written agreement or contract for someone else. Then it says in the absence of a designated floodplain administrator, the floodplain administrator duties are to be fulfilled by the chairman of the board of supervisors. So if Mr. Barlow is chairman now, if Mr. Jackson's chairman next year, then he would be the floodplain administrator. So, you know, it's not, just because Mr. Barlow may be the chairman now, that doesn't mean he's the floodplain administrator forever. I mean, maybe it's what you always have to have a floodplain administrator, but it doesn't have to be the same person. You know, and most of my other townships, the other ordinances, they just, in this section, they just say, the chairman of the board of supervisors is the floodplain administrator. That's all.
That's fine to me. Because when he was saying we have to name a chair, a person, a head, and a second, I'm like, oh, I didn't say I was gonna stay in the township for my entire life.
No, that's,
Well, I had a problem with that too, you know, but I specifically told that.
well, she's wrong. I don't know how else to say it, you know.
Okay, she's wrong. All right, so we have this here in front of us. We'll get you guys a copy of it where you can review it. And then, after you get back with us with any changes or amendments to it.
But we gotta see what Mr. Taylor says this as well. It's gonna be a less generic sort of thing, he says.
Okay. All righty, the next thing on our agenda, or the last thing on our agenda, is the road vehicle ordinance. The supervisors all got a copy of that ordinance. You have a chance to review it. Anybody have any comments on the road ordinance? I can read it, that way everybody comes from it. The road ordinance of Township of Liberty, Adams County, restricting traffic on local roads, section 1527 of the second class township amends and authorizes the board of supervisors of second class township to adopt an ordinance securing the safety of persons and properties within the township. Whereas the vehicle code provides authority for the rights to prohibit or restrict the use of highway in particular places or by particular class of vehicles where the highway or portions of the highway may be seriously damaged by the use or movement of vehicles will constitute a safety hazard. Whereas the Pennsylvania Vehicle Code provides that local authorities have, with respect to highways under their jurisdiction, may prohibit the operation of vehicles and may impose restrictions of weight or size vehicles operating on the highways whenever determined to be a hazard to traffic, constructive conditions, or the safety factor requiring prohibited restrictions. The Pennsylvania Vehicle Code further provides the local authorities may exercise the power to grant in the code only the duly enacted ordinances and their governing body. That last year, Act 2018, Act 31 was revised from truck restriction laws and vehicle codes, Title 75, Section 4092, Section 6109, to allow municipalities to restrict allowed under the Federal Surface Transportation Authority without traffic studies. So we don't need to do a study to enforce this particular ordinance. The other ones we have to do an extensive traffic study that costs the township a lot of money. Whereas the Board of Supervisors of Liberty Township deem it to be in the best interest in the welfare of the residents of the township to enact an ordinance restricting truck traffic on local roads set forth as follows. Now, therefore, between being it enacted and ordained, the Board of Supervisors of Liberty Township proceed the authority as described above for the following. To relieve hazard traffic conditions, vehicles exceeding 45 feet in length are prohibited from operating on it except for exemptions listed in Section 2 of the following township roads. These are the roads that we will be enacting an ordinance and placing signs on. Boyle Road, Township Road number 326, Glad Hill Road, Township number 301, Liberty Hall Road, Township Road 317, McLaughlin Road, Township number 318, Old Waynesboro Road, Township Road 302, Orchard Road, Township Road number 313, Sanders Road, Township number 322, Stillman Marker Road, Township number 311, Stoops Road, Township number 320. Some of those roads already have weight restrictions on them, that's why we placed them also on there for the size trucks of being 45 feet or longer on that. And if we see deemed fit and we have to add more roads, we can do a resolution to add more roads. The exemption in section 2 says local traffic emergency vehicles, school buses, is defined herein. Vehicles in combination of government entities and utilities where their contractors are engaged in construction or maintenance on posted roads or highways, where in locations that can be reached only vis-a by posted highways. The vehicle of combination going to or coming from a resident or a farm located on posted highways or which can be reached only vis-a posted highway. Emergency vehicles, fire department vehicles, police vehicles, ambulances, blood drive vehicles, armed force emergency vehicles, private vehicles of fire and police chief and assistant chief, ambulance commanders, river rescue commanders used for answering emergency calls, and other vehicles designated as state police under section 6106 of the vehicle code. School buses, a motor vehicle designed for carrying more than 10 passengers, excluding the driver for the use of transporting children to and from school. Section 3, permits and securities. The Board of Supervisors of Liberty Township may issue permits for the movement of motor vehicles or combination with lengths in excess of 45 feet, restricted imposed upon under section 1, and may require such undertaking or securities as they deem necessary to cover the cost of anticipating or probable repair or restructuring necessary by the permit to move the vehicle. All actions taken under the authority of this section shall be taken in accordance with the rules and regulations adopted by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, Department of Transportation, founded in Title 67 of the Pennsylvania Code. I'm almost done. Section 4. The permit fees for oversized vehicles on township roads shall be as follows. $50 for general fees for all oversized vehicles. All future or increased in said fees pertaining to this ordinance shall be adopted by resolution. Section 5. To move a vehicle hold dimensions exceeded in set limitation in section 1, an application must be made to deliver to township for oversized vehicle. Section 6. The applicant for an oversized vehicle shall provide delivery township proof of liability insurance with coverage limitation no less than $1 million. Upon receipt of permit fees and proof of liability insurance, the township of Liberty shall provide the applicant with an oversized permit to operate in Liberty Township. The permit will list the name, the applicant's identification, truck, trailer information, overall dimensions of the load, width of the weight of the vehicle, number of axles and axle distance. The permit shall also list the route, origin, or destination. The permit shall also denote if escort or pilot vehicle is required for the move. The permit shall be valid for 7 days after issue. The township police department may require at its discretion that a physical route survey be performed prior to the issuing of permit to ensure that the proposed route can be negotiated safely. The applicant shall also assume all liabilities for repair and shall perform or have performed the satisfactory Liberty Township repairs to roads or structures which have been damaged in connection with operation under this permit. To ensure no indifferences or exceeding roadway conditions between the applicant and the township, the applicant shall have the right to videotape the traveled route and provide the township with a copy of the video. Section 8. The oversized permit does not allow the vehicle or combination to exceed posted bridge limits or weight limits in our township. Penalties for violation in section 9. Any person operating in the vehicle in violation of the prohibited or restricted herein contained Upon summary conviction, before the district matter shall be subject to a fine of no more than $500 for each offense and such penalties as set forth by the Pennsylvania Vehicle Code. Section 10 repeals the ordinance or resolution or any portion of this ordinance or resolution or its portions of Lake Liberty Township ordinance which is inconsistent with the contents of the present ordinance shall be, and the same and hereby repealed insofar as the same is affected by or inconsistent with the provisions of the present ordinance. Last section, please, Lord. Severity. If any section, subsection, sentence, clause, phrase, or portion of this ordinance is for any reason held invalid or unconstitutional by the courts of complete judicial, such portions shall be deemed to be separate, distant, and independent provisions, and such holdings shall not affect the validity of the remaining portions of this ordinance. That's the ordinance. Any questions?
No.
Praise the Lord, Darrell, now your turn.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Is that 45-foot vehicle or 40-foot combination? Because what are you gonna do about pickup trucks and campers?
Anything?
Well, they pickup trucks, if you have a camper and you're traveling to your residence, that would be an exemption under local traffic.
Yeah, local tractor. This is just for tractor trailers and 45 trucks that are 45 foot, doing making deliveries into the township, stuff like that. That's the only thing this is for. This is not for those things.
But as far as the length, I would think that it has to be,
It is a combination of 45 feet.
yeah, I would think whatever's 45.
Because we asked that question to LTOP, our state rep, when he was here with us, and met with us, and that was the same question that Bobby directed to him, and it's an overall legal 45 foot combination.
So it's a 45-foot
Overall.
no matter the weight then?
No matter what, 45 foot. Because we can't do the weight unless we get KPI to come out and do a weight study,
Core samples.
and core samples and stuff like that. So this is the only way we can divert.
Excise tax money,
Yes,
then you lose your FTIP money.
yes, absolutely. So you got all that.
I need a list of roads.
This was all designed, what came to later, John, I don't know if.
Oh, I know where you don't want it.
Yeah,
That's
right, you know,
Matter of fact,
I've seen Warner back there and all those guys, and,
No Swifts?
yeah, not yet.
Not yet.
I've seen.
More work for you though. I said more work for the chief.
No, I just have to have a tape measure that's certified.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
like I said, this is,
road now.
huh?
That's just that section, from,
Jack's
Jack's
Mountain
Mountain
to the
down
bridge.
towards Emmitsburg.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
It's that little piece there.
it has that bridge on it, has a weight restriction.
Mm-hmm.
And our LTAP guy said, if you got roads that are already weight restricted, go ahead and put them in this ordinance too. And then you go hit them both with a weight, and, because she can't stop them for weight.
Right.
She can only stop them with
Unless
weight.
it's- Unless it's Boyle Road, because of the way that has already, that
Right.
ordinance has already been passed and it already states gross vehicle weight.
Gross vehicle weight.
Where
Re-
they
Registered, registered.
Yeah, or if they direct you around that way.
That's
Well-
all, yeah, and honestly, I mean, everything you read in there about all the limitations of it is common sense.
And that's what we
But
tried.
I understand they gotta spell it
And
out.
what we tried to do with this is Wendy and I sat down after we sat down with the LTAP guy. And they gave us a bunch of examples and stuff from the state. And we put this together, bless her heart, she did all the typing herself. And then presented it to Mr. Liskey to review, make sure everything's good, so.
No, I agree with them all. They don't need to be back here.
Right.
Just didn't know if it was the trailer or the combination.
Right, right. Because we've had a lot of residents on Orchard and Boyle Road, even over, on some of these other roads that really complaining about trucks getting up in their yards, taking out telephone poles, as you indicated. You say, so we gotta do something.
No, it's not effective tonight. We gotta average, they're gonna pass a motion to authorize staff to prepare the ad for it to be enacted in the April meeting. So and then 7 days after that, it'll take effect.
My question to the board is, do you have any roads that are not listed that you want to list? Because now's the time to list them.
I think you have all the ones we've been concerned about.
Okay.
Actually, I have one comment. I was thinking about the school bus, and I don't think we have anything right now out, but if they would establish a local bus service for seniors or whatever,
Oh, there's one,
would you wanna make that more generic for purpose of the bus?
no, the buses in here, and we already have seniors in
We
the
have
bus.
senior buses now,
Yeah.
They're not
I don't
over
remember hearing you.
They're not over 45 feet,
yeah.
Yeah, they're
none
not.
of them.
Yeah, the senior transportation, they're
Those are the shuttle buses.
they're really large vans.
Yeah, the shuttle,
Yeah.
the shuttle.
I'm just thinking in the
15
future,
trans-
you might wind up with something bigger.
Well, we come back and make a resolution to,
So you can amend it, or you can be more generic with your term now.
No, I just have one more question.
Yeah.
And those roads that are not listed under weight restriction and so on are not affected by the length or the weight of the vehicles traveling those roads, is that right?
That would be right.
that would be right.
You're right, but they're roads that we don't share a big concern with.
Right, I know, I realize the roads, I recognize the roads you were saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, they need to be on that restricted
And
list.
as far as farmers, the milk trucks would be exempt, that's local delivery. So,
Yeah.
it's these trucks that are traveling, I don't wanna say across country, long distance, that would be prohibited.
So, we don't have any objection, I'm gonna make a motion that we send this, have Wendy, construct a, ad, and Mr. Lisco to help her to put an ad out and advertise this for adoption at our next meeting in April. Is that what we need to do in April?
Yep, that's right, we can do it, it just has to be, the ad has to run 7 days before the April meeting, we should be able to make that.
So, only other thing I have to add to that, I did sit down and Brian, before he left, had already ordered some signs, because we've been working on this for quite some time. So we already have some signs in the shop, and, we ordered, yesterday I ordered enough to do 3 roads. So once this gets adopted, we're gonna do the first 3 roads right out, around here, Boyle, Orchard, and Stillman Valley. We're gonna do those first, and then we'll order the next set of signs in to do the rest of the roads. So I made a motion that we instruct them to formulate an ad and to run it for 7 days. Do I have a second?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Wendy, I'll prepare the ad and then you'll run it in the paper.
Yes, I do have a comment. We have a hearing on April 7th for that other ordinance.
Which,
That
the
is
solar, did that ad run yet?
No, it hasn't run yet.
All right, I'll try to combine this with that one, the ad,
Okay.
that'll save us some money.
Okay, well, that's the end of that. Do I have a motion for adjournment?
Yes.
Wait,
Whoa,
are you gonna make that
You
comment?
Executive.
Oh, yes.
Recess to executive.
Yeah, before taking.
You got mine,
We
one.
have to announce that.
Oh,
Yeah,
We'll make an announcement, we had an executive session prior to our meeting tonight to discuss
personnel.
personnel matters, and we will be going back into executive session after this meeting to continue the executive session that we finished. So anyhow, other than that, we'll have a motion for adjournment.
You're not here, or you?
Well, to go.
Recess,
We're just recessing.
executive session.
We'll go to executive session.
So moved.
Okay.
We have recess or?
Yeah.
You're more than welcome to stay if you like, or you're going to leave. Totally up to you.
So where are you holding the
But if you're gonna,
executive session?
right here, I guess.
If someone's gonna stay, we'll go there.
Everyone's gonna have to. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta go back.
I wouldn't hear the other.
Say what?
Thank you. Sorry.
Any germ gets into this toxic waste dump I call a body that dies from chemical poisoning, lack of nutrition.
You want me to help you? I will leave you when you go to the house.
Well, we're call, we're in our executive session, here at 9:10, and we open back up to a regular session, at the same time. In executive session, we discussed the, application and the hire of, Christopher Ruza, correct?
Ruzen.
I wanna take a vote to hire him, we have to hire him retroactive to February 10th. After further discussion, we have decided to do that. So, I ask for a motion.
Okay, so the motion would be to hire him retroactive to February 10th as an at-will police
Yes,
officer,
that will be-
part-time position, okay.
Okay.
You wanna list the rate at this time?
You wanna make
And
that?
you might as well say the rate.
$20.40 an hour?
Yeah, that's right. So I'll make a motion that we hire Chris Williamson at $20.40 an hour, retroactive February 10th.
Part-time police
Part-time
officer,
police officer.
at will.
At will. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion for adjournment?
I have one thing to say. While you were in executive session, I went to the mailbox, and we did receive a check.
Oh, good.
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 Okay.
Oh, my.
All right, so we'll go ahead and take action on that too.
No, you already approved it.
I was just announcing that since I was.
So we haven't checked yet, when it's
And
going
do
to
I
send
just
off.
mail that directly back to travelers, the
Goes
release,
to
or
that
did you
in,
want?
no, the check's made out to the township.
No, the
Just talk about
release.
the release.
You send it to, make a copy of it and send it to that Andrea Janetti.
Okay,
If you want to include a short cover letter with it, here's attached, encloses the release
okay.
for blah, blah, blah.
And then they'll send it on.
Well, no, that's.
That's travelers.
That is
Yeah, from the
travelers.
So
travelers.
that's what my question was, do I send it directly to travelers?
Send it to Andrea Janetti at travelers.
All right, no problem.
Okay, do I have a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Second, everybody in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Chris Wood.
Okay, very good. Welcome aboard, Chris.
Yeah, you bet, you bet. You bet. Good job, everybody, be happy ever after.
Good luck with everything.
Thank you for staying so late too. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
So
no
much.
problem. Good night, everyone.
Hey, good night.